Okay.
Well, welcome, Audrey, and hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. Today, I am extremely thrilled and happy to have Audrey with Homelight on, and I am sporting my Homelight gear today.
Hey. We love our Homelight swag.
And I have a lot more. Thank you, Audrey. You guys rock. Um, but today we're going to talk a little or quite a bit about Homelight and some of their offerings. We're extremely, or I feel super blessed to have gotten to know Audrey through Homelight. She's just a rock star, just a good person. I feel like what's important with any real estate agent or really anybody in any industry is you surround yourself with good people that just work hard. They're on top of their game. I'm so proud of it. That is Audrey, hands down. Like, I know that if I message her, she's gonna message me right back, and she's just on top of everything. Like, I never have to worry about anything with Audrey, which I absolutely love, and that says a lot about you. And I think it's one of those important things with anybody, especially within the real estate industry. Like, you want to surround yourself with the best people, whether it be partners like Homelight or escrow company or lender. But Audrey is an absolute rock star with Homelight. I tell her that every time, and I truly mean it because you are amazing, and we appreciate it. So anyway, so quick intro, Audrey. You want to jump in and give your little intro?
Yeah, for sure. And thank you so much for those kind words. I'm totally blushing right now. But I'm really proud to have worked at Homelight for almost 3 years. And actually, before I started at Homelight, I myself was a real estate agent at Keller Williams. And it's really like Homelight to hire people that used to be in the industry, just because even though we are a tech company, we really want to have that firsthand experience, because as we build out products, they're really intended for agents. So we just want to make sure that we are in alignment there. So I now have the pleasure of working with elite agents, which include Tyson. And Tyson is definitely the youngest Homelight agent to join the rankings of elite. We have over 1 million agents on our platform. Of that, we're sending referrals to about 80,000. And in our elite group, we have 30 agents. So Tyson is definitely at the best of the best. And it's my absolute pleasure to be able to work with him.
Oh, thank you. Oh my God, you're so sweet. Turn it around on me again. You're supposed to talk about you.
I did a little bit, but yeah, this is about Tyson too.
Oh, thank you, though. Yeah, I appreciate and that's why I wanted to, or that's why I love Homelight so much. And you is just like, you guys are all about trying to figure out ways to make the realtor, you know, have products that are going to help their clients. And not only that, provide tools to really allow the agent to grow. And obviously, that's one of the big reasons why I'm like so stoked with Homelight is you guys are actively looking for ways to better serve your agents, and you really, really, really value those relationships. And as you know, we've already had a couple clients that were looking to do the trade-in program, and you guys just really did everything you guys could to help me and my clients out. And that in itself, even though the last one didn't work out just because they were able to work things out with the seller and the buyers, it says a lot to me just with regards to who Homelight is and how willing they are to really do everything they can to help me as the agent and my clients, which of course is extremely important to me.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe that's a good transition into talking a little bit about these amazing products. I'm gonna give my little summary of the couple products, and then I'll let Audrey take over. These are products where I seriously feel like Audrey and her team had to explain to me probably 5, 6 times, because I just my mind was blown. I was like, no way, like you could really provide a trade-in program or a cash close. And so essentially, these products in a market like we're experiencing now in Temecula Valley, the market's so busy. And so you have to be very competitive when you're working with buyers in our market. And so a program like the trade-in program, what it essentially does is it allows the buyer, or let's say you have your home. I'll use myself as an example. I have my home, but I want to buy something bigger because I'm having a baby, you know, and most cases, that person selling their home, they're going to have to buy a home contingent upon their home selling, right? That's hard to do in a market where most properties have multiple offers. So if there's 5 offers on a property that I want, because I'm going to want a really nice property, there's probably going to be 5 offers on that property. The odds of me getting it being contingent and still needing to sell my house is very slim. Because me, if I was representing the seller, I would say, well, look, we have 4 non-contingent, and then we have Tyson, who's a contingent buyer. Who are we going to go with? Of course, they're not going to, in most cases, they're not going to go with me. And so the great thing about the trade-in program is it provides a way where I could buy that property without that contingency. And that to me is a game changer, because especially again in this market where, like I said, we listed a property actually just on Friday and we had multiple offers by Monday. You know, same thing. Of course, we picked the best non-contingent offer and we just opened escrow actually today. And so it's really, in my opinion, just an amazing product. So that's my quick explanation of the trade-in program. What else do you want to add to that, Audrey?
Yeah, no, you did a really, really great job. Thank you so much. Our trade-in product is really intended to simplify the real estate transaction. So if you don't mind me backing up a little bit and talking about Homelight's vision, which is to create a more simple, certain, and satisfying transaction. And it was our CEO's own involvement with purchasing his own home, where he realized that it is a very, very difficult process. And the one thing that he was really hung up on were all of the contingencies. And that's really what makes that transaction uncertain, not just for the buyer or the seller, but also the agent. So it's really in our best interest to make it more simple, more certain, which in turn hopefully will make it more satisfying for everyone involved. So the trade-in program is just one that falls under our cash close umbrella. And the trade-in program is, of course, designed to eliminate that home sale contingency. And it's really different from a lot of other products out there. I mean, there are other companies that will offer clients, 80 cents on the dollar for their home, iBuyers or, other investors. But unfortunately, that seller, he has to discount himself right off the bat. In the trade-in program, it still allows the seller to be able to have full market value of the home, because we essentially move that seller out once he's found that home he wants. And then we essentially list that property back on the market with a top agent so that they can get that full market value. So the way that it works is we will give that client a guaranteed price up front. It will be just a fraction of the home's value, but think of it as payment 1 of 2. We certainly don't want to just stop there. That is just enough to unlock the equity that's sitting in the home. I believe 56% of all buyers have to use the equity that is currently locked into their departing residence in order to make that next purchase. So that's where a lot of clients are stuck in this little conundrum, and a lot of them actually just sit in their home because they're like, I don't even want to think about what it's going to take to be able to make that transition. So not only does trade-in help a really, really complicated situation, but it actually unlocks more opportunities for agents. But with that, as soon as the process is that we would give the client an approval for their home. Essentially, they have to sign a trade-in agreement. But as soon as they have that, they can stay in their current residence and go shopping for homes, knowing that once they found that next property that they want, they can make an offer that isn't contingent on the sale of their property. And if they use Homelight Home Loans, they don't even need to write in a loan contingency, since we already guarantee that we'll be able to fund it. And once they move into that property, we'll essentially close on their home so that they have unlocked their equity, are able to close on their incoming residence. And once we've taken title, we'll again just relist it with Tyson so that he can help them net the most amount for their home. All 100% of the proceeds that we make from that sale goes directly back to that client. So they have no stress. And again, they're able to make what we believe is even more on their sale of their property because it will be vacant, which of course is COVID safe as well. Yeah. And certainly no stressing about having to offer too much for their incoming residents because it's contingent, or discounting themselves because they're desperate to get a buyer for their departing residents.
Right.
That was very wordy, but
no, that was so much more detailed than my basic. I think I just kind of shared the experience of like, this is what happens, but you went into a lot more detail to make it so people would understand. But it's crazy, and I still feel like even with me or even with you explaining it, I feel like it is still just one of those things that we're just not used to having this type of solution, and therefore it's hard to really grasp onto things that are not the norm, and therefore it's like I feel like a lot of people probably watching this may not even truly understand. So guys, feel free to shoot any questions in the comments, and we'd love to dig in deeper. And keep in mind, like I said before, like I had to go through this 5-6 times to truly understand it. So don't feel bad. Like this is what I do every day in real estate, and it took me a bit to fully understand all this. So feel free to put comments if you have any questions. And then also feel free to reach out to myself. And I know even Audrey, she's always been an all-star. Anytime any of my clients have had questions, she's always more than willing to dig in deep and really go into full detail about the different programs. So thank you for the deeper explanation in the trade-in program. Anything else? So I guess that really explains the trade-in program pretty well. Anything else?
Do you want to talk about the cash offer, which is our other leg of the cash close products?
Let's do it.
Okay, awesome. So our trade-in product, again, is designed for sellers that have a home to sell. And the cash offer is a product that's really available for any buyer. It can be layered with the trade-in as well. So if it's a really, really hot property that your seller loves, they can then make an offer that isn't contingent on the sale of their home and make it all cash. And again, this can apply to any buyer that's approved by Homelight Home Loans. And maybe I should start with just Homelight Home Loans and what we're trying to accomplish there. So again, we aligned with this really great company and we acquired them, hence the name Homelight Home Loans. And the reason being is because they're also trying to remove the contingencies because they realize that that's the hang up and that's what's creating a more uncertain transaction. So right off the bat, when we approve a client, first of all, we're able to do a turnaround within 24 hours of receiving the application. And it's not just a pre-approval, we're actually underwriting the client. And it's also not a desk underwrite. We actually have our underwriter looking through the whole application and providing a conditional approval to the client, again, within 24 hours. And so we're already so confident in that approval that we will stand by it. Most lenders, if you ask, hey, is this good? They'll say, yeah, that's fine. And then you'll ask like, oh, can I remove the loan contingency? And they'll be like, oh, no, not yet. But with us, we say, absolutely, go ahead and remove that loan contingency because we have a $100,000 guarantee. So if anything happens, because of our miscalculations and the buyer has to fall out of escrow because we couldn't actually fund, they wouldn't lose their earnest money deposit. We would refund them any finances lost up to $100,000, which would cover a lot of 3% deposits out there. So based on that concept, Homelight Home Loans wanted to up the antes a little bit. So if we're already putting our money where our mouth is in terms of the $100,000 guarantee, we're now saying, hey, well, why don't we just purchase a home on behalf of you? Since we already know we will be able to fund that loan, you can make a really, really competitive offer being all cash, closing in 8 days. What seller is going to say no to that? So from there, essentially, we would make an offer on behalf of your buyer. So it would close in Homelight Homes. But at the same time, we would be working on their loan. And as soon as that loan is ready to fund, we would just transfer title to your buyer's name and they can, go ahead and live in it. But they're essentially using a loan, but being able to make a cash offer using Homelight's own funds.
Dang, that's so big. Like, yeah, anyone watching this, like, trade-in program, and I think we've talked about this before. You obviously with the trade-in, can the cash and trade-in go hand in hand, right?
Yep, they can be layered. So sometimes sellers are like, you know what, I was just concerned about the home sale contingency, and maybe that property wasn't hot enough that they had to also do an all cash, because keep in mind, if they're using Homelight Home Loans, we already guarantee that we'll fund it. So you can always remove that loan contingency whenever you write an offer with a Homelight Home Loan approved client. So to up the ante again for that seller, we could do one that's completely non-contingent, except of course for that inspection contingency.
Dang. And again, like, that's just amazing to be able to have that advantage over other buyers if you're looking to buy in anytime soon. If you have a property to sell, to be able to go through a program like this, and not only be able to buy non-contingent, but then also be able to buy as a cash offer when you have, shoot, one recent, I had 10 offers on and we got beat out on that one. And I'm sure that would have made a big difference if we would have had the ability to show a cash offer on the table, because obviously if all terms are equal, but yet we're cash, who are they going to go with? It's going to be the cash offer. So these are some amazing products, and I feel like extremely important in our marketplace. And I think most of California seems to be experiencing the same thing. I know you work in a few other areas. Are you seeing that with all of your partners in terms of just the activity?
Yes. So there's definitely been a jump off in activity. There are some markets that it almost seems like COVID never happened. Of course, they still had to, do their safe practices, but the activity levels were still really, really high in some areas. But those that were a little bit lower in March and April have definitely come back up. It seems like all of the buyers were just like sitting at home, looking online, and finally, when they felt comfortable to actually look at homes, they're like all out right now and all making offers. So now more than ever, our cash offer is becoming really, really popular. When we first launched Cash Close, of course, the trade-in program was the most popular one because that really solved a pressing need in the process, whereas the cash offer, perhaps wasn't as significant at the time. But now that there are, I've heard as much as 15 offers on one property. Like, now cash offers really matter, and not just to beat out the competition, but everyone knows that it's more beneficial to make a cash offer because you can negotiate on terms a little bit, and perhaps save your clients some money as well, or at least, be able to lower that offer price and not have to go up so much.
Dang, I love that. And it's like, again, I feel like most realtors don't know about these products, and we need to educate ourselves about these products. It's kind of like a lender, right? Like, sometimes if you're working with a good lender, they're going to be able to figure out a way to make it happen, right? Like, in many cases, sometimes they just can't, they just don't qualify, right? But a lot of times the good lenders, they know all of the different programs that are out there, whether it be a USDA loan, the VA, the CalHFA, the various programs, state programs and so forth, down payment assistance. A lender needs to obviously know all of those options, because someone who's looking to buy, and just because one lender says they can't buy doesn't necessarily mean they can't qualify. And I feel like it's the same with a realtor. Like, sometimes someone might want to buy, but they have to sell. There's other options out there. Or again, in this competitive marketplace where we're seeing multiple offers on the majority of properties, you need to figure out, how can I set up my clients to have the best possible shot of getting their offer accepted, right? And obviously the cash product gives them that ability to go in with cash, which right there in itself gives them an advantage over all of the other buyers. So amazing products. That's exactly why I just love Homelight. And I'm sure you guys have many other products you guys are thinking about and probably going to roll out in the future. And I love that, how you guys are just proactively looking for those areas of need within the real estate world. And me having this relationship and now getting to really understand these products, I feel extremely fortunate. And hopefully any realtors that are watching this, guys, educate yourself on these products because they are amazing products. And I have seen firsthand how great they are. So again, yeah, thank you, Audrey. Did you want to share anything else about any of the other Homelight products?
Yeah, let me talk about Homelight Escrow for a minute, just because that was really our first product that we kind of launched. So Homelight referrals are really our core business because we knew that if a client was able to be matched with the best agent, they would have a much better time moving forward. But in the past 3 years, we've grown our company over 150% year over year. So we feel really confident that we are able to deliver really excellent recommendations of agents. That allowed us to increase our funding. At the end of last year, if you don't mind me bragging a little bit, Homelight did raise $109 million. So with that, we really have the room to create and come up with new products. So, but our first product, again, was Homelight Escrow. That to us was a really, really antiquated product. Most of the time, escrow officers are really heavily reliant on paperwork. It's just a really, really old school process when we live in such a modern world and people are used to getting information on their phone, on their computer, just at any time. And yet with escrow, it's generally like I have to call them to find out where I am in the process. So escrow was really important for us to be able to solve for that kind of transparent process, since that's generally when everyone's super stressed out because they're about to get in their home or they're about to sell their home and they're just like, oh, what is going on? So with our escrow company, we've partnered with Chicago Title, which is under F&F, one of the biggest title companies in the country. And we also have this really amazing system on the back end. So it's much easier for not only agents to track the progress on multiple files that they might have open, like Tyson does with us, but clients, more than anyone, they really need that transparency. So they can download the app on their phone and receive updates. So anytime there's a new stage update, they'll see, oh, EMD was received, or oh, inspection contingencies were removed, just so that even though nothing's changed in the process, they're getting those messages and they're feeling a little bit more comforted knowing, okay, things are moving along, and then they don't need to call Tyson as much to get all of the updates because they're receiving it directly on their phone. Or if Tyson wants to be able to provide those updates, he can log in and be a little bit more proactive with those updates. So that's our first product we launched. And then our cash close is the second one that we have going. And that's after the acquisition of Eve, which is now Homelight Home Loans. So the one thing that I do want everyone to know is that we treasure our partnerships with agents because, again, you guys are the glue that holds the transaction together. And so as we create our products, and unlike a lot of other prop tech companies, we're really keeping agents at the center of the transaction. We know that we cannot be agents ourselves. I used to be an agent, but it's been years since I've been in the field. And it would be a big disadvantage for any buyer or seller to work with me instead of a top agent that we're already partnered with. So all of the products and tools that we're building is really intended to elevate the service levels that our top agents are already providing to clients.
Dang, and I love that. And dang, and you can't, it's weird. Like, I feel like I can't really say that for a lot of companies. And I don't even really want to say any names, but I'm sure everyone can imagine some of those companies out there. Homelight truly values the realtor's place in the business and also that relationship, which is huge. Because a lot of other companies, again, I'm not going to mention names, they're all about themselves, right? Like, how can they ascend? And of course, we're all businesses, so we're all looking at ways to really create more value so we could do better as a business. But a lot of the businesses out there continue to change and put less emphasis on the importance of the agent and even the consumer. And I've seen that firsthand, even with one tech company that I was part of early on, once they got into real estate. And then I saw little by little this company, oh gosh, I feel like I want to say it, but I don't. But little by little, their interest was more about their shareholders than it was the clients and their agents. And so that partnership that I had for over 10 years went from being amazing to just not being so great. And it was unfortunate, but that's again why I think Homelight is so amazing, because that's part of who you guys are. Part of your mission is like you're going at it with the agent. You value them, you value the clients, you're looking for solutions, you understand that they're a pivotal, important piece of the real estate transaction.
Mhm.
So again, kudos to Homelight, kudos to Audrey. That is so cool.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing that.
Oh gosh, yeah.
We only have a few minutes. Can you believe it's
Oh,
already been 26
wow.
minutes?
This time flew by. This is really fun.
So the last thing I like to give a quick update on just the numbers, and feel free to chime in. But here's what we just, obviously we're June 2nd, so we just got May numbers in the area. And a month ago, I was talking about the numbers for April, which the sales volume for April was way down, which I expected. It was down like almost 50% in terms of volume and transactions overall, of course. So now I'm looking at last month's numbers, and what I predicted was that basically we're going to see similar numbers. We're going to probably see around 50% less volume year over year, meaning May of 2020 compared to May of 2019. In April, it was down around 40 to 50% in most of our area here. And my prediction was that we would see something similar for May, just because the lockdown stuff, for us anyways, was March and April. So of course that was going to be, you were going to see a reduction in the number of properties listed, number of properties going into escrow, so on and so forth. And so the numbers for May was actually right around 30 to 40%. So it was actually a little better than April in terms of volume. And the other thing I predicted, we'll see if this comes true, is next month my prediction, or I guess this month, my prediction is rather than seeing a decrease of 30, 40% in terms of the number of transactions, I believe we're going to see an increase of 20, 30, 40% year over year, because a lot of those sellers and buyers held off. And then, of course, as of May 1st, it just seemed like our phones were going crazy and everyone was looking for homes, listing their homes. And so I believe what's going to happen is we're going to just see the numbers completely flip-flop, and we're going to see an increase of sales of 30, 40%. What are your thoughts on that? That's pretty crazy to think about, right?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree with you. I think that it will be higher than last year because of the buildup. But I read on Housing Wire that applications for loans were up 6.7% from last year as well. From, I think, May of last year, they saw a 6.7% increase. So the buyers are definitely ready. Yeah.
Interesting. Dang. Yeah, we've seen, like, even today we have 16, I believe it's 16 homes in escrow, which is a lot, right? Like that's
That's a lot.
last month I think we had, I can't even remember, but it's definitely this month I just saw things totally shoot up, and I'm talking to a lot of my realtor friends, and it sounds like a lot of the same, and that's why, yeah, I think we're going to see more of that kind of V-shaped recovery. Because some of the podcasts I would listen to, they're talking about like one of those recoveries where it's just kind of a slow recovery. But I'm just seeing it as more of a V-shaped recovery where the numbers are almost going to inverse in terms of going from 40% less to almost, my guess is 20 to 30% over what last year's numbers looked like. It's just been really busy. So anyway, guys, we have 1 minute left. How should we wrap this up?
If you have questions, give me a call, or it's easier. You've got my name here, Audrey@homelight.com. If you want to reach out about Homelight or joining our platform, we can definitely get you set up with one of our agent success managers. And if you are a client and you need a great agent in Temecula, Murrieta, give Tyson a call. He's the best one for sure.
Oh, thank you, dude. You're the best. You're so awesome. Yeah, guys, seriously, really, and this is for realtors, buyers, sellers. Like, go to their website. It's just homelight.com, right?
Mm-hmm. LIGHT.
Okay, and then when you go on there, just learn about the trade-in program, the cash offer program. They're amazing products that can really benefit your clients in the current marketplace. Again, it's our job to really serve our clients to the very best of our ability, and that means putting them in a position where they could really get the home of their dreams, because that could mean them getting the home they really want or not. And I think hands down, the products that Homelight has to offer are just products you don't see anywhere else. And so check it out. Audrey is amazing. So feel free to reach out to me if you want to get her contact info, or we'll have it in the comments or somewhere in the video. We appreciate you coming on, Audrey.
Oh my gosh, thank you.
Our whole team just adores you, and we all think you're amazing. So, and we appreciate the relationship we have with you and Homelight. I think you are a reflection of Homelight and what they offer. And I think obviously everyone I've dealt with really with Homelight has been amazing. So obviously they put a lot of time and effort into making sure they get the best of the best, just like they want the best of the best agents, I feel like.
Yeah.
And so we appreciate that relationship. So thank you so much, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Till next week, guys. Hopefully you guys got some good info out of this. Feel free to reach out to me, shoot me a message, give me a call. I'd be happy to explain in more detail about the benefits of these products, or even the real estate market. Things are changing. As you guys know, this world is crazy right now. And there's a lot of things changing. But if anything with regards to real estate or these programs, I'd be happy to chat. So thanks again, Audrey. Have a good one.
You too. Bye. Bye, guys.
Bye.